got a great show tonight. Is Greg Hilbers here yet?
Yeah.
Greg, my old buddy, we started out together at the Comedy Store Westwood. Greg Hilbers, welcome back.
Thank you.
And of course, we've got producer Tony Boldy here. My dear lifelong friends Laney and Jerry are here, whose son pollutes our country with marijuana. we got a new one. Young Corey is here. He's a good friend of my girlfriend's and at work. And he works at here at the Comedy Store at Food. Brilliant 21-year-old right out of Michigan. Give Corey a round of applause. He's a funny young man. He's going to be a comedy actor. So Corey, good to have you here.
Thanks.
Now, I'm now about to read an official apology. Okay? And I think you'll get the gist of it quickly. Well, guys, it's apology time. It seems your good buddy Argus poured a hot, wet bucket of internet hate all over himself because of what I said about the recently discontinued Little Caesars pepperoni crazy bread. I've been getting death threats, which is bad, because I like being alive more than almost anything else. Every time a beloved fast food menu item is discontinued, I post some horrible shit about it. I've been doing it for years now. I like destroying gods. Some of you are getting this. Good. When Pizza Hut took away their triple-decker pizza, I call it the greatest misuse of ovens since 1940s Germany. If I may say goodbye for my career, let me do so now. Oh. Springtime for Joey. And right when a famous menu item goes away is when is all it's most worshipped. So as a response to all the outpouring of sympathy on social media, I post something vile. When America was asking what happened to McDonald's chicken McNuggets Szechuan sauce, I told everyone that they probably ran out of it because it is the blood of the victims of the Tiananmen Square incident. It was just a joke. I don't really hate the Chinese government or sweet and spicy sauces. So to be fair to me, which of course is the most important thing for all of us to do here today, my fans are the ones who force me to do it. A lot of times I will be shaken awoke in the middle of the night by my adoring fans demanding that I say something hurtful and disgusting about fast food items that have just been discontinued. So really, we should be blaming them for making me compare the amount of Marinara sauce you get when you order the Little Caesars pepperoni crazy bread to the genocidal policies and tactics of the Khmer Rouge. Unfortunately for me, it is my sacred burden in life to be really, really, really good at being really, really mean to people I've never met. It makes me what I am. 5 seconds. Man, I'm good. But it's not actually celebrating the loss of this menu item. This is just an act. It's playing a heel, a villain, a haughty man who needs a spanking but wants a kiss. I am complicated like Billie Eilish. Whoever that is.
You know.
For example, the Taco Bell naked chicken chalupa was a close and delicious friend of mine, and I even posted one of those about it when Taco Bell killed it like the British royal family killed Princess Diana. Rest in peace, pepperoni crazy bread from Little Caesars. Screw McDonald's. Thank you so much. And are we still on? Listen, it is a privilege to introduce the hottest commodity right now in show business are women in comedy. And we've got one of the sharpest young female comics in this country right now, and it's a privilege to have her on the show. Let's welcome, if you will, Jessimae Peluso. Yay! Nice to have you here, Jessimae. Thank you. Jessimae. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I did a little reverse societal standard. I'm flipping it.
You're
I'm gonna
flipping,
start
okay.
kissing guys' hands.
Well, I passed my sell-by date in 1980.
You have very soft hands,
So whatever-
Argus.
You tell me. Very soft hands. I never worked a day in my life. Yeah.
I saw that monologue. I saw that monologue.
I try to hide my golf calluses, but so they won't
Golf
think I'm
calluses.
so they won't think I'm some field hand. So listen, tell me about yourself. What, you're from Syracuse?
I am from Syracuse. I felt emotionally triggered by your intro, your apology just now, because I was pissed at Baja Fresh.
Uh-huh.
I felt like it was a personal vendetta because I don't know if you guys enjoy Baja Fresh. Have you been to Baja Fresh?
Is that south of San Diego?
It's all over. Sure. It's south, it's north. They got tacos, burritos. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a bitch on a budget. It's fantastic.
Ah.
They discontinued their chicken torta sandwich. And they did not send me a personal message to let me know. And it fucked up my whole lunch plans for like the rest of the year. So I think I might need to write an apology.
I'm just sorry to hear you're a bitch on a budget.
Bitch on a budget.
So you
Yes.
haven't met an older man yet.
I'm looking for an older man who's on his way out, Argus.
That's what you want.
That's my type right now.
A billionaire with a heart problem.
Oh, yes. A billionaire with like a gimp and a boat.
That's wonderful.
Nothing gets me more wet than a dry geezer, you know? Somebody who's got like a low survival rate and no surviving family. That's where I'm at in life.
And a good listener, too.
Yeah, good listener, because he's catatonic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make me mean? I don't know.
No. You know, a wolf's best weapons are his ears, trust me.
Really, yeah. Well, I've got wolf ears between my legs.
Wow. Absolutely.
They're just tattoos, guys. That's all.
Yeah.
I need your son's number, ma'am.
That's right. Now, this is interesting about Jessimae. I was reading her bio, and you are active. Like, she is like a spokesperson for High Times magazine. She's very active in the marijuana industry.
Marijuana.
I mean, you know, you ought to talk to Lenny
Yeah.
after the show, because her boy is very big in the industry. And she's a rep for High Times, right?
Well, I'm an advocate of cannabis. Yes.
Yeah.
And I use cannabis to raise awareness for Alzheimer's.
Now, that seems to me like a cyclical thing, cannabis and Alzheimer's.
Well, cannabis supposedly affects your short-term memory.
Okay.
So, but there is science.
So you believe in living in the moment, right?
I do believe in living in the moment, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
But there's science with, like, you know, THC helping people be alleviated with any sort of neurological issue. So
Right.
I'm all about combining things and raising awareness and sort of using my voice to help people get through some brutal shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I heard something today that post-traumatic stress syndrome people, they may be legally allowed to use ecstasy.
Nice! Let's get some PTSD, Argus! Come on! Let's fucking get traumatized! Sounds great!
Well, I nearly had it when we tried that first start of the monologue tonight.
You have hair of a man who does ecstasy on Sunday mornings, for sure.
Well, I got sober 33 years ago, and I remember Sam Kinison told me, like, after I had 2 years of sobriety, like late 88, early 89. Sam told me I'm lucky I got sober when I did in November of 86, because ecstasy hit the town about a year later. And he said, "You'd have loved ecstasy, Argus." You'd have loved it! And
There's ecstasy in the sand! It's in the
And
sand!
trust me, cokeheads never lie to each other.
That's hilarious. It's also very legendary.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Yeah. I've never done anything. You know, I enjoy marijuana. I've never touched cocaine. I haven't touched anything else.
Stay away from it.
I know I would shoot through the fucking roof
Yeah, well,
if I did anything else.
You're naturally buzzed.
Yes,
You don't-
I am.
You need a governor, not an accelerator.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
feel me.
yeah,
You feel
exactly.
me. I am definitely naturally buzzed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the comics, when we were raised, they were sort of bifurcated into two groups. The pot guys that like to come down and relax,
Yeah.
you know, and it would slow down their delivery. It would give them a nice slow whip on their jokes, and it would just destroy it and work.
Right.
But us guys that like to go up, we needed beer to slow down the cocaine buzz, so we would slow down so the crowd could understand us. And so what we wound up doing was we just decided not to do coke until the shows was over, so we could kill the crowd, right? And then the coke would keep us up till noon the next day.
The science of comedy, everybody.
Yeah, and of course you didn't have sex on marijuana while you're linking up with people. Yeah,
all the time.
And cocaine, you just stay up all night and talk about sex.
Or just like.
and then I'm gonna.
No, there's no penetration. You're just near each other, gyrating and coming up with like Shark Tank ideas.
It dries up women and it makes men impotent. It's a beautiful thing.
I got the greatest idea. You're like, tell it to me. It sounds great. It sounds wonderful.
So tell me about life as a female comic. What's your life now?
You know, it's fun. It's interesting. I feel like when I go out on the road, I feel like I need to travel with a friend. You know, power in numbers. Yeah. There's been, interesting situations where bookers might try and, make me grab a boner or two. No, I'm just kidding. That's not I don't know what it is about me, but nobody's ever really done too many terrible things. I'm like, aren't you going to show me your dick? What's wrong? Why aren't you showing it to me?
You strike these guys as a lady with an excellent memory and Gloria Allred on speed dial.
I think it's a great time to be a female comedian in general. It's a little bit tricky because it's so saturated, but to be a female in comedy, there's so many talented women that are now getting their light, and it's cool just like to come to the Comedy Store or any club and see like a few women on the lineup. It's like 20 guys, and now we've got like 4 girls, so we're making our way up.
Well, the women that I perform with...
That was sarcasm.
Well, the ones I perform with in the main room, like on Friday night, Saturday night, Wednesday night, and then in the original room on Sunday, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
And they're fearless because they will go on and start the show at 9 o'clock. Right? They're the first ones out there. And that... No pun intended. That takes balls.
It does take balls.
You have to go out there.
Absolutely.
You establish your reality, and once you get that laugh, everything's on your terms.
Yep.
But you've got to be tough and battle hard to get that first laugh.
You do. Crack that
fearless.
can.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And gosh,
it's a lot of fun. It gives a new meaning to the term blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing stand-up yourself?
19 years.
Really?
I know. I'm so young.
Well, you must have started very early.
You guys are so quiet. I started when I was 19. I'm 37.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? So pretty. It's just oil of Olay and a lot of morning D. Vitamin D.
Well, what do you like to talk about in your act?
I like to talk about whatever I experience. I've had like this struggle with talking about things that have happened with my dad. I feel like when you're emotionally close to your material, for me, there's a fine line, there's a dance to be had with the material and when it's ready. When it's something like Alzheimer's and death and all of that. So that's one area where I'm really looking to develop and get comfortable with those jokes. But other than that, I talk about everything that's happened to me. I talk about, my family and getting older and if I want to have children, which I got to figure out soon because it's getting dusty down there. I talk about my fears. I'm attracted to comedy that I can connect with. Like, I think the spectrum of comedy goes from like Seinfeld to Pryor, in the sense that it's clean and clinical and technical to bloody and on fire and sweaty and everything else in between.
Absolutely.
And I always connect to that more bloody, sweaty, visceral comedy.
Yeah. The emotionally honest.
Exactly.
Emotionally honest.
Yeah, I want to know who you are. I want to know what's made you ache and what you've overcome, and so that's what I'm into right now.
I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I'm clean and cool
you're very
and precise.
technical.
Because how I feel and what I feel is none of their business.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's your prerogative, and you're so good at it.
It's an Anglo-Saxon thing.
I feel that.
What we say after a bad golf shot is nobody else's business. Us and our God, Arnold Palmer.
I was watching you back there, and I just was really enjoying your style and your delivery because it's like the antithesis of what I'm used to and what I do. And
opposites attract.
Yeah.
We both know what our job is, and that's the next laugh.
Yeah. But I appreciate your comedy. I think it's mathematical. It's very intelligent, and it almost represents the grassroots of joke writing. Mm-hmm. It's hard to do what you do, and you're great at it. Honestly, I loved your monologue.
I appreciate it. every now and then, I got a good buddy here, Joey Gaynor, who's on the staff now and helping us put together all the comedy here.
Nice.
And Joey and I did the open mics together in 1976, traveling around town in my MG midget and going from club
You rode
to club.
a midget?
Yeah,
That
West
sounds
Hollywood.
inappropriate.
Not then. It was the consensual '70s. and he broke me intermediately out of the premise, setup, punchline into doing little bitty acting bits in between jokes to accelerate or illustrate what you're talking about. Robert Klein was do you know who Robert Klein?
Yes.
Robert Klein was the granddaddy of the mini movie, a 3-minute movie of punchline, acting piece, wrap up,
fantastic.
punchline.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have a feeling that's probably what you do.
I enjoy to describe the emotion and act it out. I love physical comedy. I love to breathe life to the moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what entertains me, and that's what I always enjoyed as a little girl, watching stand-up specials.
Right.
You know, I grew up on all the greats who are dead now.
Yeah.
Pryor and Joan Rivers and Bill Hicks and Kinison and all these great legends that I think really put at the time a lot of racial and societal and personal material on the line.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what attracts me to any sort of comedian.
I want to ask your opinion on something. I've noticed that millennial crowds, and I love them. I love them to death. Okay? I'll tell you what. They're from a comedy
I'm
standpoint.
getting married. I don't care, Becky. Shut the fuck up. It's about me. Save the whales. Choke on a straw, you loud whore. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If you didn't know what a millennial was, that's what it is.
Yeah. And how many times did their parents hear that from the basement? You know? Just not pretty. So, but the only thing I wanted to make the point was that's the majority of our crowds now. And I've noticed that they will laugh at race, drugs, death, sex, everything. The only thing they pull back on is gender.
Yeah.
It's like they still have that sociology teacher in their head going, that's wrong, you must not laugh about gender.
Right.
Come on.
Everything's got to be laughed at. Look, the fact of the matter is, Bruce Jenner killed a woman and then became one.
Yeah.
And then also became Woman of the Year.
Yeah. I think at the time he was transitioning into an Asian woman.
I mean, that's
It was a car wreck.
It was a car wreck, guys. It was an Asian female. Never mind.
But later, when the Me Too movement came along, he sued himself for inappropriately touching himself over the years. It had to happen. Get me out of this, Lord.
He turned himself in. This man is touching me. It's weird. I think.
Yeah, show us on the doll where you touched yourself, Caitlin.
Let me put lipstick on first. Life is short and it's beautiful and it's chaotic and tragic and we should celebrate all of it. Yeah. It should all be celebrated.
Do you fall in love on the road?
All the time, every weekend, really. No, I like. Do I fall in love with people?
No.
Or the road?
Do you find boyfriends on the road?
I have one boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I have a man. He builds things with his hands.
Yeah.
He slid into my DMs. He didn't send me a dick pic. He sent me a picture of his tractor trailer, which was also big and hard, and I wrote it. Thank you. Our guest liked it. Is this guy still awake?
I love this comic. Don't you all? Isn't she terrific? Give it up for Jessimae Peluso, ladies and gentlemen. Terrific. We're going to have you back in March.
Thank you so much.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a picture taken.
Okay.
We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. Let's get a picture taken together. Lucas Martyrs.